Les Griffith here, Collier RV, Rockford, Illinois. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new 2023 Leprechaun 311S FS? Definitely FS. Okay, so like we usually do, we'll start around the outside and point some cool stuff out, and then we'll take a look at the inside. This one definitely has a few features that you basically can't be found on any other floor plan. Certainly one of my favorites when you get up into the longer Class Cs. This one's going to be somewhere around 32 foot bumper to bumper. As you can see, it is on the E450 Super Duty chassis. For you guys and gals out there that have watched my other videos, which I'm sure all of you have, the 450, the biggest thing that it gets you, right, because you're going to have the same engine, same transmission, same rear end, but it gets you more capacity. So this, even though it is a larger Class C, will have over 2,000 pounds of cargo capacity. So if you can fit it in there, you can definitely take it with you. While we're standing up here at the front of the cab, I do want to point out that this is actually a painted cab. They come white from Ford. So this was painted to match the fiberglass on the unit. I think it looks a little bit better. Stainless steel wheel liners. So you can have regular steel wheel liners that will rust in about a day and a half. You can have aluminum wheel liners that will not rust, but they will get pitted and oxidized over time. You definitely have to take care of them, buff them and stuff. Stainless steel, clean it like you would normally clean you know, any car every once in a while, and it will stay nice and shiny and good looking for you throughout the entire life of this unit. Big steel step ends there, running boards, high quality, powder coated, which is certainly nice for those of you that are a little bit height challenged. Makes it much easier to get up into the cab for you. As we come down a little bit further, a huge awning on this, and of course the now ubiquitous LED strip light. They all have them, but it is a great thing, and this one has it too. We'll get to the doorway once we open it, although I do love that it has a window in it. This big flap here, this is not storage. You're going to have an outside entertainment center, Bluetooth capable. Nice little soundbar on there so you're not listening to the terrible audio quality on these TVs. Although I will point out that that Insignia TV is a Fire TV. So that has a Fire Stick, Amazon Fire Stick built into it. So it is on the Fire Stick ecosystem. I guess you would say it's a smart TV, right? So if you want to you know, check out your Netflix, Hulu, you know, Prime Video, whatever the case might be, everybody's streaming nowadays. That already has it built in, so that's very, very nice. Love that. Huge window. They're all tinted to kind of keep some of the heat and fading of your interior away as long as possible. This next little door is going to be your propane fill. Right next to the entry side, easy to get to, fill that up, you know, bring it in. We're happy to fill it up for you, or there are all kinds of places that you can get that filled. There is something for those of you that have been around RVs a long time, maybe have noticed. I'm going to point it out in just a second, but I'm just wondering if there's anybody out there watching this that has already noticed and be like, wow, why does it have that? Hot water heater, you know, kind of standard. It's a hot water heater. Actually, it's a cold water heater. It makes cold water hot. Big storage. And right next to that storage, you'll see the little symbol here. So this was ordered with the CRV Coachman RV ride system. So you will have sumo spring shocks in front and a super spring self-adjusting helper spring in the rear. It really plants the coach, you know, gets rid of some of that wobble back and forth as you're going down the road. Feels a lot better driving this thing. It's really, really planted. In addition to that, because this is a 23 and has the new 7.3 liter Godzilla powertrain in it, right? This is no longer the V10. It's the actually larger displacement V8 that also comes with upgraded stabilizer in front and rear. So, you know, it kind of all combines to just give you a much better ride. So who has noticed it? So this is a furnace, right? Kind of looks like any other furnace outlet. If you took this off, there's, you know, furnace guts in there. But if you look towards the back of the coach, there's another one. This actually has dual furnaces in it. It also happens to have dual ACs. You can absolutely have this coach as hot or as cold as you want, no matter where you are. Doesn't really matter the climate in this case. And they can both be controlled separately too. That's pretty freaking cool. The first thing that I noticed, now of course I do this for a living, but when I walked up to one of these 311s for the first time, I'm like, does that have two furnaces? No, that can't be, but yes, it does. It has two furnaces on it. We've been walking past the sidewall on this, so this fiberglass is actually tinted, it's dyed, right? So this color, this main tan color, is actually impregnated into the fiberglass. And then of course you can see it's nice and shiny and stuff, even though it hasn't really been waxed or anything like that. We just pulled it indoors. But you do have some nice thick gel coats over the top, which, you know, makes it look nice. But like if you get a little minor scratch or scrape or something on this, a lot of times it will be bright white. That's the color of the natural fiberglass. Easy to see, kind of looks ugly, you know. This is actually tinted, so you won't have that issue. It's the same color, you know, if you get a little scratch or something in it. I thought that was kind of cool. Little flapper door here. This is going to be a quick connect propane for an outside grill or whatever you want, but most people are going to use it for an outside grill, right? The idea is to be out here and, you know, grill your food, and you know, for those of you that don't use a fire to, you know, a natural fire, I guess that would be fire too, right? And it's kind of weird today, right? But that's okay. Anyway, so quick connect goes to your big onboard propane. Hook up your gas grill. Don't have to get those goofy little 2.5 pound or whatever they are bottles of propane that, you know, you can cook 4 burgers and a couple of dogs on them, and then they run out and you got to go get another one. Outside power, they're all going to have that. This one does too, like all the rest of them. This is going to be a big storage bay. Not too tall, but lots of room in there. Right, so you throw some of your camping gear, certainly like folding chairs and stuff like that. You throw them in there and away you go. Now we can get our sites set up, put out your little outdoor rug and a couple of camping chairs and get the fire going, and now we're having fun, right? Fully walkable roof, does come from the factory with a ladder. All these light bulbs are going to be LED. They look nice. They don't burn out easily. You know, you got to remember these things are bouncing down the highway, going all over the place, and you know, the regular light bulbs, they tend to not like that sort of thing. So LED lights are very important. Powder coated steel bumper. Underneath it does come with hitching from the factory. This is on the Ford chassis, so it will be a 7,500 pound hitch. Chevy chassis will typically be a 5,000 pound hitch. So 7,500 pound hitch. As we come around the corner here, there's a bunch of storage and cool stuff to look at over here too, but I just want to stop for a second just to point out that this whole coach, so floor, ceiling, walls, slides, even the side slide walls, these are all fully laminated, and underneath here there's no wood in this coach. It's all welded aluminum framing, even in the roof. You know, a lot of times they will, you know, they'll put some aluminum framing in the sidewalls and the back wall, but then the roof is still old-fashioned wood, you know, screwed together, sometimes stapled together. This is all welded aluminum, and you know, this side slide wall is built exactly like all the other ones. Super high quality, nice and durable. Love it, can't get enough. Right around the corner and underneath that slide is a big storage bay. And I don't know if you could notice when you were looking in it on the other side, but that is a complete pass-through. This side, you'll be able to get a little bit taller stuff. That's all rotocast, so you know, super durable, thick plastic. You know, chuck stuff in there. Doesn't matter if it's wet. You know, it makes no difference. It could care less. Easy to keep clean and all that cool stuff. Right next to the door that's hanging down, you have your outlet for your sewer, right? Black and gray tank. That's where your little pull valves are. That's where you're gonna hook up when you wanna dump your tanks when you're leaving the campground. Up above it, 30 amp detachable power cord. Cool. Above that, this is gonna be your cable input, or most people nowadays are gonna be using this to plug in a little satellite dish that they would have out here. So, you know, of course, you gotta have your 700 channels, right? Below, you will have more storage. Above that storage, you're gonna have an outdoor shower. Whoops, if I can get it open. Come on, there we go. I did have one person ask me what this funky little thing that's sticking out is. And I guess, you know, sometimes, because I kind of know every nut and bolt on all these things, I just assume most people know most of this stuff, and maybe I shouldn't, and you know, I apologize for that. But that's actually to hold your little shower wand. So the shower wand actually fits in there, you know, to hold it in place for you. And then of course you have hot and cold water. Above that is your water connections. And this is one of the cool little quirks that you know, get me excited. Not many other people, but me, and I'm the one that's doing this video, so we're gonna take a look at it. This little switch right here is a light. I just thought that was the neatest thing, right? So you're out here, it's late at night, you just drove for 12 hours, and you're trying to hook up your damn water, and it's hard to see, and you're taking out your phone, right? Because everybody uses their phone as a flashlight now. This actually has just a little light that will just light up this area for you. Coolest thing. At any rate, so this is mostly, you know, the normal stuff. So this actually has a little valve right here. So in the up position, this is an inlet for your onboard tank, right? So if you're going somewhere that does not have water available, you need to bring it with you. In the down position, actually I can turn that, there you go. In the down position, you know, a little chart here, it says city. City water means this is now bypassing your internal freshwater tank when you do have access to water at your average campground. And then this is a black tank flush. Hook up a hose to that. There's little sprayers inside the black tank, which is where the toilet goes. Sometimes you get some gunk in there, and that will rinse it out for you. So pretty cool. And then there's a little door on this, so you know, when you hook up your fresh water, you can close this and lock it. And then gas cap. We all know what a gas cap is, hopefully. Over here, underneath this slide, you're gonna get more storage. Next to that, you're going to have a 4500, I believe. Yeah, 4500 MPS generator. So this is the other big name in generators right now, right? Everybody knows Cummins Onan. The blue ones are Yamaha powered by MPS. And I will say, because those of you that are really into the RV stuff, you may have read online or whatever the case may be, that these are louder than the Cummins Onan. This is actually a new generation. This is the next generation of the MPS generators. So they have lowered it. I don't know the exact decibel level that they lowered it, but it is significantly quieter. In most cases, it will be a little bit quieter than its Onan counterpart. And you get a 4500 instead of a 4000. So that's very cool, just a little bit of extra power. Next to that, this is gonna be another big storage bay. And then we come around to the driver's door, which I typically like to open. So I'll do the same thing on this one. Metal arms on the big mirrors. You got your fisheye and your regular mirror that they're all gonna have. And by the way, these are power, which is normal for these nowadays. So, you know, so power adjustable. This little switch up above, these are heated mirrors. So if you do find yourself, you know, you love going snowshoeing or, you know, whatever, you can heat those things up to keep the ice. It will actually work for fog too if they get a little fogged up. And then a couple of nice little pockets in your door, automatic driver's window, automatic locks. We won't be able to see it from the inside, so I'll point it out. It also has automatic headlights. You know, nothing too crazy. But all well made and everything works well. So very cool. I will also point out that this has low mounted side view cameras. Most of the time side view cameras are mounted in your mirrors, which is up higher. So if you've got a Corvette or a Miata or something like that running up on the side of you, you may be looking right over the top of it and not even know that it's there. So I do like the units that mount their side view cameras lower. So that's nice. Molded fiberglass front cap with a custom window in it. Like it, yes. Need to have one of those. And this is super thick fiberglass, can definitely take some abuse. Comes, you know, hell, 8-10 inches over the side. A lot of times you'll find units that have these seams right at the corner where it's taking the brunt of the wind and stuff, and sometimes you can run into issues down the road. This one wraps it around nicely, so that's cool. Let's go inside because there's all kinds of cool stuff in here too. This does have 2 house batteries, and actually I'll show you guys real quick. So this is typically where house batteries are kept. There are 2 of them in there. A lot of times you will get 1. So let's see if I'm doing my math right, that's twice as much power. As you come in, you'll have some of the same stuff that they all have, and then a couple things that are pretty neat. So at the top there, the thing that says Energy Command 30, that is for your generator. This does have auto gen start, so you can set it for low voltage, which is the most common one. But at any rate, you can set that up so it will automatically start your generator for you to keep you out of trouble. To the right of that, you'll have a bank of switches. All of them are kind of your normal thing, right? So your awning and then a few different lights. And then your bigger control panel, you will have control for your water pump, your water heater, and then this does have tank heaters on it too. So you can get out there a little bit earlier in the year, stay out a little bit later in the year and not worry quite as much. Then there's this button. So this little button with the Wi-Fi symbol on it is different. You're not going to find that in almost anything else. And what that is if we look straight above, this already has the WineGuard gateway installed. So typically you'll see, and in my other videos, you'll see it on most of them, there's just a little like dome. It almost looks like one of these lights. And you pull that dome off, and I've talked previously about you go get the gateway and that's where it plugs in. This already has it, right? So that Wi-Fi switch, you already have a Wi-Fi booster built into this unit. And then of course you have the dome up on the roof. You can get 4G LTE, so you can get internet wherever the heck you're going you know, if that's something that you want to do. But I think it's pretty neat that they already have the Wi-Fi built in. This is a Coachman product. So like all of their Class Cs, this is going to have the little pocket right over the door with an HDMI input for your interior TVs. And then a couple of USBs that do provide power. Most people are going to stick their cell phone in there. And like I've mentioned in the past, it's a great place to stick your cell phone. And then you're going to see it as you're walking out the door, right? So you're not going to forget it, because of course we don't want to forget our cell phone. Nobody wants to do that. I do have the keys with me because I want you guys to see this cool screen and the backup camera on this one. I've pointed it out a couple times and I've never actually turned it on. So I wanted to do that. And by the way, you know, power door locks and alarm and all that fun stuff. You get a little key fob. Obviously the seat's turned around. And they both do it. So I'll just turn this on to ACC. Chameleon. That's kind of cool. I never noticed that before. Maybe I didn't look at it right away. Your dash, right? So this is a Ford dash, kind of like you would get in an XLT cab if you bought a regular Ford product. You know, so you will have all the normal controls and cruise control and tow haul mode and all that fun stuff. And then you get this 10-inch screen, and you can turn this, by the way, towards the passenger or the driver more, put it in the middle of, you know, whatever you want to do. It has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. There is a media input, which is right down below. So if you want to plug a memory stick or something in there, I mean, most people want this so that they can get Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, right? So you get your, I use Waze, sometimes Google Maps. My wife is an Apple fan, you know, so she's going to use Apple Maps. We don't use the internal GPS in our cars because it's 3 years old. And half the roads are wrong, right? So this is updated every single day when you plug your phone into it, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, it also has Bluetooth and a radio and all that stuff, and I'll actually scroll over to the other side. AVN, so there are other inputs. Actually, I think that AVN might be also connected to that HDMI up above. Steering wheel controls, so you can set up your steering wheel controls. Settings is kind of obvious. AirPlay, that's an Apple thing, so I'm not quite sure what that does, but it's an Apple thing, so it's got to be cool, right? I don't know. Camera, so that's going to show your backup camera, but up above it, where your mirror is normally stuck, which doesn't do a darn thing in these things, right? Because you're not looking in the rear view mirror to see behind you in one of these. This is actually the rear view camera, and you can change it to the side view cameras too. But I love this setup for a couple of reasons. One, this is where you're always going to naturally look when you're backing up, right? Because that's what you're used to your whole life. Everything, you look at the rear view mirror when you're backing up. And that's where you're going to see your rear view. So cool. The other thing is it's a separate screen for those cameras. So you can have whatever you want going on your main screen, whether it's media or a different camera or your GPS map or whatever, and still have access to your cameras. You don't have to choose one or the other. So really, really cool. And then of course you have all the normal functions up here. You know, hot, cold, AC, heat, whatever the case, you know, they're all kind of the same. You'll have your little cigarette lighter, 12-volt outlet, another USB over there, USB-C and another USB, you know, hold some change. I don't know, does anybody carry change anymore? But anyway, they got a little change thing up there for you. A nice little dome light if you need some more light up here. This I love, and you guys have seen this a couple of times now. Everybody should do this. This actually comes right out. If you don't want to use it, you know, you can fold it away and store it wherever you want. And then underneath it, 3 cup holders, lots of little pockets and cubbies for you to hold stuff. Cool, like it. Let's move over to this side. So huge dinette, and of course this turns into a bed. You got a couple of cup holders, hidden over in the side. Again, that huge window, some storage up above. In this case, in the Leprechaun line, this is going to be real hardwood, these cabinet fronts, and these are real metal poles. It's not the fake plastic stuff. You guys already know that I love how they mount their tables with all kinds of gigantic lag bolts and the much thicker metal pole to hold it up so it's not all wiggly and stuff on you. A little bit of storage on that side of the dinette. On the opposite side, there is no storage because you have all the electronics for the buttons and switches and things that are right inside the front door, and a heat duct because they don't cut a hole in the floor to put the heat duct in. TV, this is on a swivel mount, so you can move it all over the place wherever you want to point it. We'll go over to the other side. Lit cabinets, this is real glass. Love the backlighting. You can't turn that off, by the way, and then they did it the right way. They put the little arms on there to hold them up so you're not trying to do it with your head. Love magnets. Again, you guys that have seen my other videos, I'm a big fan of magnets. Full-size sofa. If you want, you can easily seat 3 full-size guys on this. A couple of them have to kind of like each other, but other than that, 3 people can fit on this. If you only have a couple and you want a little more comfort, or you need 2 cup holders, I don't know why. Well, yeah, I guess I can probably think of a couple reasons why. These do fold down, which is kind of cool. And then of course this folds out into a little bed like they all do. We'll move on. By the way, there should be power right there too. So power right there, that's a GFCI outlet. And then you have the little power tower, which is also GFCI protected with a couple of USBs that do provide power in it. Huge farmhouse stainless sink. And by the way, this countertop is Technoform, so this is a coated countertop. The interior, I'm pretty damn sure is wood, but it's completely covered with this thick material, right? So there's no, bullnose that's going in here with, it's going to get dirt and water in it and fall apart. Like the little backsplash back there, that's pretty cool. The sink is actually metal and it does have a little pull out for you. Kind of your standard 3-burner stove with a nicer glass top, which is cool. And this doesn't use the little rolled aluminum or steel grates. These are actually cast grates, so they're nice and heavy and heavy duty. You do have a little oven, which is nice in this one, right? So it's not any bigger than any other RV oven, but you get the little RV oven, and this is a convection oven microwave. So you get both, which is cool. And then you do have the neat little lights that kind of look neat. And then put this switch back down, and that's actually a little oven light so you can see inside the oven. But I like the little round lights on there. Looks neat. Wine rack that they installed. In my case, this would be a bourbon rack, but they call it a wine rack, so I'll stick with that. Now we start getting to some really cool stuff. So looks like a pantry. It is a pantry. I shouldn't say that. It is a pantry, but it has another thing that I absolutely love that they don't like doing because it costs more money and more time. But Coachman did, right? So every one of these shelves pulls out, and they pull all the way out to the very back of the shelf. And these are real wood, nice ball bearing metal slides on these things. And every single one of these pulls out. I mean, all the way down to the ground. Is that fantastic or what? Whatever. I mean, it gets my juices flowing, but I'm a little bit weird. And then more magnets. A little bit more storage. This is a little bit shallower, but nevertheless, they were able to throw a little bit more in here. Huge refrigerator. This is an Everchill, so it is a true 12-volt compressor. So you have a gigantic refrigerator for a Class C. I mean, this is just insane for Class C, along with a huge 2-level freezer. They work really well. They cool off quickly. They keep your ice cream frozen. Just very cool. So big double door fridge. Now we got some weird stuff going on back here. So this is the door to the bathroom. We're gonna open that in just a minute. You got your little thermostat there. This door kind of looks like a bifold door. This is to the bedroom. So this door actually opens, but not quite all the way because it's hitting something, which you'll see in just a second. So that's why it also folds over. And then there's a little holder for it. Now we're not gonna go in there yet. You guys can't see that yet. We're gonna go in the bathroom first because this is pretty darn cool too. So I'm gonna let you take a look first, right? So you have kind of a little hidden shower. There is enough room, you know, me 6 feet, 200 pounds, 210, but don't tell anybody. I can get in there, I can turn all the way around. It does have a skylight if you happen to be 6'8". There's a little bit of storage underneath the sink. There's a longer than average mirror. So if you are a little shorter in stature, you can actually, you know, see more than just your forehead, which is pretty darn cool. That is a porcelain toilet. Behind and up above the toilet, there's some storage. Across from the toilet, there is more storage. And if you want to stay there for just a second, I'm actually going to come in the other door that comes from the bathroom, from the bedroom. Now I'm in the bathroom. God, I am kind of weird today. I don't know, maybe I didn't have enough caffeine. Maybe I had too much caffeine. So a little bit of shallow storage here. You know, little soaps and I don't know, whatever kind of tchotchke things you put in the bathroom. And then underneath it, huge storage with a couple of more of those pull-out drawers. Now, that in and of itself is friggin' awesome. However, you can take these drawers out and put a washer dryer combo in this unit. One of the very, very few Class C's that you can do that. And not only can you do that, but now you're gonna go around the other way and meet me over here. You're gonna see what's on the other side of that in just a second. It's gonna blow your mind. So full size, 60 by 80, residential size queen bed. Down on the side here, you will have 110 power, USB outlets, and then there's a little 12 volt socket. I have been asked a few times in the past, what the heck is the deal with, you know, some of these nicer units having 12 volt sockets next to the bed? And it's for CPAPs. So they make 12 volt CPAP machines for people, but if you don't have the 12 volt socket, now you gotta get a thing to plug it into, and then you plug that thing into a regular outlet. And sometimes they don't even have regular outlets back here, but now you don't have to worry about it, right? You can plug in a couple of phones, you can plug in your CPAP. If it's not 12 volt, if it's you know, you have 110 outlets. And by the way, there's other outlets on the other side of the bed too. Up above, the nice little fabric headboard back there, you have some more storage, and then a task light that you can turn on and off. We were up in the main living area, and there was an air conditioner up there. And then, of course, remember when we sat outside, this has 2 ACs, so this does have a separate complete AC for the bedroom. You know, if you want it to be 50 degrees in here, you know, happy days are here again because you can do it. Now, if you come back here, this has a walk-in closet. I know, it's crazy, but it does. Hi. Full-length mirror, walk-in closet, some hanging up on the other side too, big drawers over on this side, and then a couple little dresser tops, I guess you would call them. Just frickin' awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Can't get enough. So that is the 2023 Coachman Leprechaun 311 FS. I got it right that time. FS. Here at Collier RV in Rockford, Illinois, I'm Wes Griffith. Love to have you come out, show you some more about this particular unit or any of our Class Cs. I got a whole load of them, all shapes and sizes. Give us a call. Thank you.